After helping to win the Ryder Cup for a third time and successfully defending his Valspar title, Paul Casey remains a talisman of English golf. He's been talking to Matt Rose.
Paul, thanks so much for joining us on Golfing World. I want to start by asking you to look back at your 2018-2019 PGA Tour season. How will you remember this year?
The 2018-19 season for me has been another really great season. Defended my title in the Valspar Championship down in Tampa earlier this year, which was the first time I've defended a title successfully on the PGA Tour, I think maybe as a professional anywhere. So it kind of has to be a success when I've accomplished that. You know, when we're coming in now to the FedEx Cup playoffs, so hopefully I can make it an amazing season. But then, I mean, I've still got so much more golf to play this year as well. I got a lot of European obligations and some more international stuff. I feel like this is the second half and I'm ready to get going.
Last year we saw you return to the Ryder Cup side, the first time we've seen you there in 10 years. How will you look back on that week in Paris? It must have been so nice to play again.
I think Paris was one of the greatest weeks I've ever had on a golf course. It was satisfying for so many reasons. I mean, obviously we won. That's the most satisfying thing. To share that emotion and that outcome with my 11 teammates and my captains and vice captains and friends and family and all the crowd. I mean, Paris National was the perfect venue. You couldn't have written a script any better. For me, it was such a long process because it was a good 2-year process, I guess almost a 10-year process since my previous Ryder Cup. Missing out when Darren was the captain at Hazeltine, watching that on the sidelines, knowing that I couldn't even be part of it because I wasn't a member of the European Tour, was something that was that sparked the kind of fire. I didn't like that scenario, and then Thomas came on board as captain, and we spent near enough 2 years planning it. How I would rejoin the tour, making sure I got on that team and played the golf and took care of the body and got my form where I needed to be. The first point that I won that week, which was on Saturday with Tyrrell, it was very, very emotional, but it was the most unbelievable week.
Did you miss it? Did you miss match play in particular?
I miss team match play. Nothing's like the Ryder Cup. But we play other match play events throughout the year, but there's nothing else that can create that type of buzz. Winning championships is very, very different. You don't have that team, that bond, that ability to share it.
A polite reminder, you're moving into your early 40s. What do you do differently now from perhaps when you first started out on tour to nowadays? Do you train differently? Do you have to watch your body that little bit more?
What are you suggesting? That I'm older and I'm slower? No, there's actually, if anything, I'm more diligent than I've ever been. I guess I have to just pay a little bit more attention physically to things I need to do, certain little bits of maintenance here and there to keep the body in check. I don't work out as much as I used to, only because I'm trying to avoid injuries now. Otherwise, not a lot has changed. It's a few more grey hairs, but you know, otherwise the routine stays the same. I hit fewer golf balls maybe than I used to, but still got the passion. For me, that's the main thing. Everything else can change and the body can hurt a little bit more, and it does, but I still love doing what I do. So it's not an issue waking up in the morning because I'm excited to wake up.
Well, one of those things that we know you do to keep in shape is cycling. We followed you in the Dolomites on Golfing World. Is that something you're still keeping up and enjoying?
I still love it. I still go out early in the mornings, and winter times I'll be out there before the sun comes up. It clears my head. It's sort of my meditation. I'm not able to think of much else when I'm on the bike, so I love it. Probably get a new bike this winter when I get back, a little reward for my good play.
So one half of the season is done. As we move into the second half of the calendar year, what's your plans going forward? Are we going to see you play a bit more in Europe?
I have to. I've not played a single European Tour event yet this year, so you know, I skipped a couple of events I traditionally play, such as Abu Dhabi, HSBC. I normally frequent visitor there. You know, there was a couple of reasons why you know, I decided to change things up a little bit, and one of those was actually Ryder Cup points, knowing that the Ryder Cup point starts, I believe, at BMW Championship at Wentworth in September. I wanted to defer the majority of my events till to gain some points, so that's what I've done. So you're going to see me at Porsche, you'll see me at BMW, Italy, and touch wood, if I play well enough, I'll make it to DP World in Dubai. So I'm excited about that. You know, 3 of them are Rolex Series events. Great to support Rolex. I'm part of their family as well. So it's busy stuff, trying to finish off a great PGA Tour season and then play a few early things for PGA Tour as well for their 2020 season. It's confusing, but I'm excited about it. Yeah, the biggest one for me is Wentworth, just because that's where I fell in love with the game of golf, watching Seve and those guys. I can't wait to get back there.
Well, Paul, we look forward to seeing you at the BMW PGA and a few of those other European Tour events in the near future. Thanks for joining us on Golfing World.
Yeah, thank you.